if your sales process is a relationship-based sales process, or maybe it's a consultative sales process, usually you're having to wait for those relationships to cultivate and establish and grow before it turns into any business for you. And in this video, I'm gonna be walking you through how we actually speed run and grow and cultivate open accounts, grow and cultivate relationships with those accounts for our clients, and then they can actually close those deals in a much shorter amount of time. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm Ryan Ogren, I'm the founder of MoneyMake Marketing, and we've closed $3.55 million in collected revenue for our clients in 2025, and we've been using the exact same strategy this entire. And there's some key principles that we use in this strategy and kind of key beliefs that I think you need to have to operate them. But essentially, what we do is we open up accounts that are complete strangers. We cultivate relationships between those strangers and our clients, and then those strangers become our clients' clients. They become our clients' customers. And it really just comes down to how you are doing it, how the effort and who's putting inputs where, and how the actual trust is being built. And that's essentially really what it is. So that's what I'm gonna be talking about in our video today. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so how to cultivate and build. Actually, that's the wrong title. Let's change the title. This title is gonna be how to open and build relationships. Let's do business relationships with complete strangers that turn into money. I know this is probably a longer title. I don't know if I'll use that on the YouTube video title, but let's get into that. So this is essentially what's happening. If, like, a lot of our clients, they're manufacturers. We also have some power generation infrastructure guys. We also have some medical device folks. We also have some construction folks. We've been all over the place, and the strategy works time and time again because we're just focusing on the principles, and then the execution and our E's are just so dialed in. But essentially what we're doing is we reach out to our clients. They have these dream accounts. They have these companies that if they could just get in touch with them and build a relationship with them, then they get the business, right? So if essentially they are able to reach out to a complete stranger of their dream company and get them to like them, know, and trust, that adds a tremendous amount of money for their business because they're going to start getting revenue, bids, all this stuff, quotes, all kinds of fun. That's essentially what we do, all right? So there's a couple different terms that I'm going to walk you through that I was just on a call and I just explained this, that I think I need to explain because you need to understand the parts of your sales process a little bit more. And then once we're on the same terminology, then you guys can understand our strategy. So the very first thing is open accounts. So what this means is if there's a company that you're not currently working with, but you want, that company is called an account, right? We call it an account. And we say we open accounts. Our superpower is opening those accounts. So opening accounts is literally just getting in touch with deal company. So this could mean like you reach out to them, they respond, and they send a message in a positive way, just like a positive response, okay? So that's like an opened account, right? But then we take it a step further where we don't classify that account as opened until they book a call, okay? If they book a call with you, that now means that account is open for you. All right. Now we have to, if we open it, we got to close it, right? So then a closed account means you close a deal with a open account, if an opened account. Okay. Those are like the big terminologies. And the reason I'm spending time on this is because I want you guys to be on the same page as us when I'm talking about these things, because I usually won't change and define each term every single time. So then the last one is conversion mechanism, okay? Conversion mechanism is what you use to convert an opening account to a closed account, okay? So what you use to convert open to closed account, okay? And this can be a sales call, most notably. It can be a in-person meeting. It can be whatever you're using to close deals. That mechanism is what your conversion mechanism is. It could be a landing page, it could be a registration form, all of this. And we've done conversion mechanisms of everything I just listed. And it really just depends on the nature of your sales process. Think in your head right now, what is your conversion mechanism? So we have open account, which means you actually opened up, there's an account, which means a company that you want to work with. Opened account means you booked a call with them. They're in your sales process. They are now a lead, a qualified lead for you. They're an engaged lead for you. And then closed account means that you close them. Open account means engaged lead. Closed account means they are now your customer. They are your client, and they close the deal. They paid you money, okay? And the conversion mechanism is what you used to actually close them, okay? The reason I just went through that is now you are up to speed on our marketing lingo. And now I can walk you through our strategy on how we take a complete stranger and get them to an open account. So how we take a complete stranger, cold company. They don't know anything about us. They never heard of us before, to open account to close account, aka your new customer. Okay, so that's really what we do. Our superpower is opening these accounts and then nurturing through this process to get them to close. So we're very good at operating in these thresholds and this kind of mindset. All right, so the very first thing you got to do is you have to send value, okay? So a complete stranger, think about it like this. Complete stranger and they're just operating through their day, and they are not even thinking about you. They're thinking about everything besides you, okay? So then you reach out to them and interrupt their day because you want them to think about you, okay? So this right here, whatever we actually are sending them, has to be like worth it. More has to be greater than, that would have been really cool if I could hit that perfectly. It has to be greater than this, okay? And the reason being is, like, if we interrupt somebody's day, we better have a good reason to do. And the higher, like, more important that this person is, the more that this needs to be very good, okay? And so what we call this thing that we're sending is a lead magnet, and it could be a million different things. It could be a personalized video. It could be a, like, PDF. I don't like those, but it could be like a pricing list. It could be a million different things. It could be like a service. Like it could be a free service call when needed, right? There's a million different things that we can use for a lead magnet, and we help you design that if you need us to do it. If you want us to do it, go to our website. It's going to be below. Click the link, apply now, and then we'll actually go through your application and we'll figure out what a lead magnet would look like for you. And then obviously we'll see if it makes sense to work with us. We are a small team, so we probably aren't taking clients on right now. I'm not sure if we are, if we're not, whenever you're watching this video. So make sure you apply. Then that lead magnet, if we send that to that person, it has to be good. It has to be better than whatever they were thinking about before. And usually if it's like a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, it has to be damn good. And we have to do a lot of relevance and a lot of research to make that lead magnet good. Once we send that lead magnet over, if it did its job and they're thankful that we reached out to them because we just provided way more value than whatever they were thinking about right now, and it was an actual solution to one of their problems or something that maybe they were thinking about right now, then we just gained something called goodwill. See what I'm saying? So if we build goodwill, now that complete stranger from a cold company, we have goodwill with them. What is essentially building a friendship? A friendship is building trust. It's building goodwill. It's building all that. What is building a relationship with your significant other? It's essentially the same thing. It's building a connection. It's building goodwill within each other. It's time spent, right? So goodwill is like the essential part of a business relationship. And so if we already established goodwill, then they immediately start to trust us a little more, value us a little, but the biggest thing is they owe us a little. And that is the thing that gets you to book a call. They owe you a little bit. They owe you a little bit of their time because you just gave value to them, okay? So that's why it works so well. So now when you get on a call, we just opened it and boom. So if that's essentially what's going on, I just showed you guys the mechanics behind the scene of how to actually open accounts with complete strangers. So now like the biggest question, so once you open an account, then there's all kinds of stuff that has to happen in your sales process. And we call this our nurture. And I'm not gonna go through this because this is a whole nother video in itself. That's like an hour-long masterclass that I could put on. But the biggest part about nurture, just list out all their problems before, during, and after working with you or purchasing your product, and use that and pick the biggest ones. You can put it into AI, pick the biggest ones and create content around that, and then send it to them during the sales process, and you'll see your close rate goes up. But anyways, we'll keep going. I'll do another video on that. If you like this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. So now your next question is going to be like, what do I put in the lead magnet? So this is so important because if you do this wrong, you damage the relationship. You hurt the relationship. So if it's cheesy, if it's sloppy, if it's AI, if it's anything else that's below, not your standards, your prospect standards, below your prospect standards for a solicitor, then I'll just put this down here, damage the relationship and you just hurt yourself. Now, so I'll do this, I'll put an arrow. If you now put effort, like notable effort, showing effort, it's clean, sharp, valuable to them, respectful, and a little edgy, you now, and the reason the edginess, it just, they remember you instead of somebody else. If you send something with this, now you will generate a tremendous amount of goodwill. So it really just comes down to how well you can actually do your research ahead of time and figure out what lead magnet you can send them. So the way we do it, I'm not saying you have to do it manually. We have a way that we actually automate. We use AI. We actually have a full strategy. And maybe I'll do a video on this, but it's our personal IP. This is a strategy that we use to actually close deals with multiple major retail household names. We actually closed a deal for 8 figures, 7 figures per month for one of our clients. That's closed. They are already making, they made 1-2 payments in 2025 of 7 figures, and they make the next 8 in 2026. So they're making 7 figures per month from us. So we use this strategy. I'm not gonna, I probably won't do a video on this just because it makes us special, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure it out. But if you can do and pretty much just get really good at researching your prospects and figuring out what they want, you can actually wrap up kind of like a dog where you put their medicine in a piece of cheese and you give them the cheese and medicine at the same time. You can then wrap up what they need in what they want. So if you get really good at this, these lead magnets and establishing goodwill is you can automate it. And that's essentially how we open up accounts and how you start to build relationships. It's pretty much just being really good at researching, and being really good at researching then gives you really good lead magnets. So that's the whole strategy. So if I go back to the top here, just so I know what title I called this video. So how to open and build a business relationship with complete strangers that turn into money. If you come back to it all the way down, you're pretty much researching them, spending time, and actually sending them something of value and doing work ahead of time before actually cultivating that relationship. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Ryan, I don't want to actually spend all this time to do that. Maybe you don't deserve that relationship. Or you can actually automate it and get really good at researching. So maybe I will do a video on it. But anyways, that's this video. So if you like the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It's a new channel. I hope you enjoy this. And Ryan from MoneyMake Marketing. See ya.